Hi guys, we still continue with the Constitution of Kenya. I hope you've come. I know most of you have not come across this book, the Constitution of Kenya, and a lot of people don't know. I've never read this book. I think 90% of Kenyans, 90 or 99% of Kenya, have never read this book, the Constitution of Kenya. That's why politicians are taking advantage of us. I'm not a lawyer. I've not read any law. I'm just an ordinary citizen, just exercising my duty as a citizen. So I'm going to take you through this, and already I've done that. We've done the acknowledgement, we have done the listing. Now we are on chapter 9. Chapter 9, that is the executive. We continue on the executive. Executive chapter 1. Chapter 1 is about principle and structures of national executive. Number 129 is the principle of executive authority. 130 is about the national executive. Part 2 is that is part 1. Part 2 is the president and the deputy president. The president and the deputy president. That's where a lot of problem is, and we shall talk about that. So number 131 is the authority of the president, the function of the president, power of mercy, exercise of presidential powers during temporary incumbency, decisions of the president, election of the president, qualification and disqualification for election as a president, procedure at presidential election, death before assuming office, questions as to validity of presidential election, assumption of office of the president, term of office of the president, protection from legal proceedings. 144 is removal of president on grounds of incapacity. Umesikia hiyo part? Hapo lazima tukae hapo jicho. Removal of president on grounds of incapacity. Number 145 is removal of president by impeachment. Hey, najua watu wengi hapo mnataka hapo anyway, but we shall see that. And 146 is vacancy in the office of the president, functions of the deputy president, election and swearing in of the deputy president, vacancy in the office of the deputy president, removal of the deputy president, remuneration of benefits of president and deputy president. Part 3 is about the cabinet. Cabinet, number 152 is cabinet, decisions and responsibility and accountability of the cabinet. That is the CSS, secretary to the cabinet. Principals, secretaries, that is the PS. Other offices is the attorney general. That is part 4. And we go to director of public prosecutions. Case of it, 158 is the removal and resignation of director of public prosecutions. We go to chapter 10. Chapter 10 is about judiciary. That's where Supreme Court comes in, and lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an ordinary citizen. But we shall talk about this. I'm going to read this book the way it is. I'm not going to interpret. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to read the way it is. So chapter 10 is about judiciary. We shall end with the judiciary. Then we shall continue with other chapters. So we shall end with the judiciary on this episode. So chapter 10 is the judiciary, judicial authority and legal system. Number 59 is judicial authority, independence of judiciary, judicial offices and officers, system of the courts, superior courts, Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court, appointment of Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, and other judges, tenure of office of Chief Justice and other judges. 168 is about removal from the office, subordinate courts, subordinate courts, that's chapter 3, part 3 of the judiciary. So chapter 3 is about subordinate courts, Cathy's Court. Chapter 4 is Judicial Service Commission. That is the establishment of Judicial Service Commission and the function of Judicial Service Commission. That is, we are in chapter 10. Chapter 10, that was judiciary. Chapter 11 is about devolved government. Chapter 11 is about devolved government. So we start with part 1, objectives and principle of devolved government. 174 is objects of devolution. 175, principle of devolved government. That is true, there are two. Part 2 is about county governments. County government. So county government, we shall be talking about government, county governments, membership of county assembly, speaker of the county assembly, county executive committees, election of county governor and deputy county governors. And then we shall have 181 is removal of county government, vacancy in the office of county government, that is 82. 183 is function of the county executive committees. 184 is urban areas and cities. 185 is legislature of authority of county assemblies. Then we go to part 3 of the devolved government. Function and power of county government. Respective functions, that is 186, is the respective function and power of national and county governments. The transfer and functions and powers between levels of government. Part 4 is the boundaries of the counties. That is boundaries of the counties also. That is part 4. Part 5 is the relationship between county governments. We start with 189 is cooperation between national and county government. 190 is support of county governments. 191 is conflict of laws. And then we go to part 6 of suspension of county government. County government. That we go with 192 is suspension of county government. Part 7 is general. Qualification for election as a member of county assembly. 195 is vacation of the office of member of county assembly. 195 is county assembly power to summon witnesses. 196 is public participation and county assembly powers, privilege and immunities. 197 is county assembly gender balance and diversity. 198 is county government during transition. 199 is publication of county legislature. And 200 is about legislation on chapter. We shall stop there on this chapter and we shall continue on the next episode as I take you through this. It will take me even years to finish this book, but it's better to take those years, but you understand the Constitution, because most of you have never read this and most of you will never read this. And I don't know if you will hear me, but I'll just read it for the next 1 year. This one, every single day until we clear this book, the Constitution of Kenya. So that is just introduction. We're still in introduction, and see you in the next chapter.